All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Will the officer please open the courtroom?
36th District Court, State of Michigan is now in session. The Honorable Judge Martin Clark is now residing. At this time, there will be no eating, no sleeping, no smoking. Try not to move around and keep your phones on a level device. Also, no driving. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. This is case number SP 111-73561, Elvin Samuel Ward. The charge is improper license. Also SP 111-73441, same defendant, civil infraction, driving 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit. And count 2 of that same ticket, same defendant, no proof of insurance. Mr. Ward, are you in the virtual courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. How do you wish to proceed? Mr. Johnson, are you representing Mr. Ward? Mr. Johnson.
Yes, may it please the court, Vassal Johnson, P72130 on behalf of Mr. Ward. Today's date time set for Raymond. He'd like to avail himself of the prosecutor's recommendation.
Okay, and Mr. Johnson, what would that recommendation entail?
So Mr. Ward will be pleading guilty to the amended charge on count, the ending. Okay. It looks like 768. Yes, 768, count 1.
I don't have that charge.
Okay, so
there are 561. What's the charge?
Driving license suspended. There are 3 charges that are not on the docket that Mr. Ward will be addressing, that Mr. Morgan addressed in his recommendation.
Okay.
So
one of those ends in what numbers?
768. 1. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
That case number, Your Honor, is SP 9557681, drive while license suspended.
Right. And he's pleading to that one?
The reduced charge, yes.
And the reduced charge is what?
Fail to display.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk.
And then he has case number 18330-697, count 1, no operator's license, and SP 888384, count 1, drive while license not valid or improper license.
All right, and as to those, Mr. Johnson, are there recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor, all of this is in a all 6 are in a recommendation by Mr. Morgan.
Okay, is he pleading separately to each of these?
No, Your Honor, there's one recommendation for all 6 charges, and he's pleading, it's a combined offer. Okay,
but I'm going to need the factual basis for each one. That's why I'm asking. So for the case ending in 697, no operator's license on person. Is that one being dismissed or is it amended? How is that?
He's only pleading guilty to 1.
Okay.
That one is being dismissed, Your Honor.
Pardon?
That one is being dismissed.
Okay. So he's pleading guilty to the charge 7681 and the other 2 that Madam Clerk read into the record are being dismissed. Accurate?
Accurate.
Okay. And is there any other charge Mr. Ward is pleading to? The other 2 civil infractions, the speeding and no proof of insurance? What's happening with those?
He's pleading responsible to just 1, and it will be speeding.
Okay, so the 1 to 5, that's the ticket ending in 44, count 1.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, 344,
yes.
Count 1. He's pleading responsible to that, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Mr. Johnson. Mr. Ward, I'm sorry, sir. You've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you well, I'm sorry, did the attorney describe all of your rights to you today?
Yes.
And you understand that if we had normal circumstances, you would be able to be physically in court, but since we are in the midst of a pandemic, you are waiving your right to be physically in court and have agreed to participate on the Zoom proceeding. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Ward, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, ma'am.
Please raise your right hand and be sworn. Mr. Ward, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand, sir. On the date, the time, and the location reflected in the ticket ending in 7681. Mr. Ward, were you driving a vehicle in the city of Detroit?
Yes, I was.
Were you stopped by a police officer?
Yes.
Did that officer ask you for a valid driver's license?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to produce a valid driver's license?
No, I wasn't.
Mr. Johnson, are you satisfied?
Satisfied.
All right, sir, the court will accept your guilty plea. As to that matter, we will also accept the recommendation to dismiss the remaining 2 misdemeanor charges previously read into the record. Mr. Ward, the other matter that you're pleading to, the speeding ticket, is a civil infraction. We don't need to have you swear to that matter. We just need your plea of responsible and you're pleading responsible to driving 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit. Is that correct, Mr. Ward?
Yes, I was. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the date and time. All right, sir. Then the court will accept your responsible plea. So, Mr. Johnson, I have 2 matters only that Mr. Ward is pleading to. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, as to the failure to display, that's a misdemeanor. Mr. Ward, the fine is $190. There is a $45 mandatory Secretary of State fee. That's a Secretary of State reinstatement fee. So that is going to make your total $235. And the speeding ticket, sir, the civil infraction, 1 to 5 miles over the speed limit, is $125. So the total is $360. Mr. Ward, do you need more than 30 days to pay?
No, I don't need more than 30 days.
Okay. All right, sir, we'll give you 30 days to pay. And do you have any questions about how to pay?
Yes, ma'am. Can I pay at the 36th District Court?
I believe you still can on the first floor at the kiosk or at the window if you want to pay in person. Otherwise, you can pay online at 36districtcourt.org or on the website known as DivDat, D-I-V-D-A-T. So you can pay in person on the first floor of the 36th District Court, on the website of the 36th District Court, or on the DivDat app.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, Mr. Ward?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, you may disconnect from the meeting. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You are welcome. Thank you. Court calls case number 120-80120, Makita Shanae Wright. The charge is no dog license. Also V 120-80220, same defendant, dog at large. And V 120-80320, same defendant, violation of dog vaccination order. Ms. Makita Shanae Wright, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please acknowledge your appearance.
I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wright. Who's representing Ms. Wright?
Yes, may I please report, Russell Johnson, we have Ms. Wright. Ms. Wright is pleading to the recommendation of count 2 for under a 6-month delayed sentence. The other 2 will be dismissed.
Okay, sir, and count 2 is ticket. What are the last 4 numbers of the ticket she's pleading to?
0220.
Okay. And the recommendation, sir, is for,
The recommendation is the 6-month. Let me see.
delayed sentence. Any conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Ms. Wright, you've
Yes.
heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Wright, were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Did the lawyer have an opportunity to explain all of your rights to you today?
Yes.
Ms. Wright, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Ma'am, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may lower your hand. Ms. Wright, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No.
And are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wright, on the date and the time reflected in the ticket ending in 80220 in the city of Detroit, did you have a dog at large? Meaning
Yes,
that
ma'am.
dog was not on a leash.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Johnson, are you satisfied?
Satisfied.
Ms. Wright, the court will accept the guilty plea as to that charge, as well as the recommendation to dismiss the other 2 charges previously read into the record. And Ms. Wright, what kind of dog is this that you have?
She's a pit bull.
Okay. And the dog, does the dog have a license?
She has a license.
She does. Go ahead.
This is her tag for her license right here.
Okay.
And this is her paper license.
Okay. Has she been vaccinated?
Yep, this is her vaccination right here.
Okay. So, Ms. Wright, I'm not going to lecture you, but you know how many incidents of pit bull attacks have happened in the city of Detroit. So it is extremely important that you keep your dog on a leash and under your control at all times. Those
Yes,
dogs
ma'am.
can be very vicious. All dogs can be vicious, but pit bulls seem to have a bad reputation for unwarranted attacks. So we are going to take your plea under advisement for a period of 6 months, provided you have no new charges of this nature. At the end of 6 months, this matter will be dismissed and the fine is going to be $250. So if you pay that $250 and you have no new charges of this nature in the next 6 months, this case can be dismissed. Now I can make it an automatic dismissal so that you won't come back, but I really recommend that we just give you a date so that you're sure it doesn't get lost in the shuffle and not, be dismissed. We want to make sure you paid and that it gets actually dismissed from your record.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Madam Clerk, we're gonna give her what date? 6 months from today?
So it will be, what is today?
Today's the 5th, I think.
Yes, July the 6th.
Okay, ma'am, July the 6th. Ms. Wright, I can give you till that date to pay, but I recommend that you pay really as soon as possible so you don't forget this. So if you
Okay.
can pay sooner, you should do that. But we
Okay,
will give you until July the 6th to pay, and we'll check it at that time. If you paid and had no new charges, the case will be dismissed, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, ma'am, you may disconnect. Thank you. This is case number SP 110-66353. I'm sorry, that's wrong. SP 111-73781 to Wanda Elise Williams. The charge is improper license. Count 2 of that same ticket. Same defendant, no insurance. Also SP 111-66581. Civil infraction, 21 to 25 miles over the speed limit. And count 2 of that same ticket, expired plates. Count 3 of that same ticket, no registration. No registration. And then SP 111-73771, same defendant. Now, you're gonna have to help me with this charge, Mr. Johnson.
Yes,
DEF-BFW. What is that charge?
Which case number, Your Honor?
It is the case ending in 3771.
That is for defective windshield.
Defective windshield, BFW? Okay, if you say so, Madam Clerk.
Well, I guess a defective brake in the front window. That's what that
Okay, is that what's on?
is.
Okay, break in the front window.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you very
Yep.
much. All right. Ms. Williams, if you are in the courtroom, please identify yourself.
Yes, I am, Your Honor. Tawanda Elise Williams, present.
Thank you. And who's representing Ms. Williams? Mr. Johnson.
Basil Johnson for the record.
Thank you. How do you wish to proceed with Ms. Williams?
She is pleading per recommendation. It's one charge, Your Honor, of responsible. The speeding has been amended to 11 to 15 over. All other matters.
Okay, so that is a civil infraction, and that ticket number is SP 111-66581.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it's being amended to
11.
11.
Yes, 11 to 15.
Okay, so I don't need to swear you in for that one, Ms. Williams. I merely need your plea to responsible to the charge of driving 11 to 15 miles over the speed limit on the date and time reflected in that ticket. Are you pleading responsible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And the court will accept the recommendation to dismiss all other matters previously read into the record. The fine for driving 11 to 15 miles over the speed limit is $150. Ms. Williams, there's no reinstatement fee for that one, is there, Madam Clerk?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, no reinstatement fee, just $150. Do you need more than 30 days to pay?
No, ma'am. 30 days will suffice.
Okay, thank you. We will give you 30 days to pay, and you know how to pay, Ms. Williams.
Yes,
Okay, all right. Any questions at all?
no, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and you may disconnect from the meeting.
Thank
I
you all.
am
Have a good day.
Thank you. And I'm going to exit the live stream.